guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you a bit about budgeting and my general experience with budgeting. It's kind of a broad subject to cover. There's a lot involved with it in general. I think it's one of those things that we should really be taught in school, but we aren't, or not in any school that I went to anyway. We weren't taught budgeting or how to take care of your finances. And I think I'd say as a country, but it's the whole world actually, that there's a big issue with, your everyday person like moi, having problems with managing their money. And I think also we are encouraged very aggressively to make use of credit and debt, which also is not a good thing, in my opinion and some other people's opinions as well. I could be wrong, but I kind of, this is how I feel about debt and budgeting in general now. I definitely don't want to take any more credit. I already do have debt that's been built up over the last sort of 6 or 7 years or so since I turned 18. And I'm currently in the process of actually paying off my debt, which I'm really glad that I'm doing. As a child, I think I was actually, maybe it sounds silly, but I was actually very good at managing my money. I would do odd little jobs. I had pocket money and I would like find little bits of work here and there, either like hoovering the neighbour's car or, little weekend jobs, things like that. And I was really good at saving my money and, being smart with it. And then when I turned 18 and I left school, started working, I also got into a relationship, which, this is more the personal side of things now, but it was, I don't want to talk too much about that. I'm not here to badmouth the person that I was in a relationship with. They're not a bad person. But I will say that it was a very unhealthy relationship, and lots of bad things happened. One of them was that I couldn't keep hold of any money, really. Basically all the money that I made at the time went down the drain, and we were always spending more than we were earning. And that's primarily where my debt has come from. And that's where it started. I think I left that relationship just over 3 years ago now. So it was Christmas Day, 2017. Even though when I left the person and exited that relationship, I kind of expected everything to go back to normal and how I was before, which was a bit naive of me. That's not what happened. I was in a very bad place and I was very unhealthy and unhappy and kind of traumatized, I'd say, actually. Sorry to go a bit morbid with this, but I think it's an important part of the story for me anyway. It contributes a lot to why what I'm doing now is so important to me and why it gives me so much like happiness and satisfaction and why it's so good. I actually had a good job at the time. I was working in restaurants for about 6 years. The restaurant I was working in at the time, I was making very good money. I will say that there was not a good work-life balance. It wasn't a healthy lifestyle for anyone working there, which is a shame because it was a really nice job in many ways. But I was earning really good money for anybody. Like, it was very, very good money. It was, I was lucky to have the job while I did. However, because of the unhealthy lifestyle and bad work-life balance, it didn't encourage good life habits, and I definitely didn't save any money. Even though I was making really good money, I still continued to spend more than I was earning, which I don't know how I managed that, but one way or another. Anyway, then the lockdown came around, and honestly for me, thank God that it did, because it completely changed my life for the better in so many ways. I finally got to kind of rest and recover from some of the things that I hadn't really recovered from after I got out of that relationship, for example. And on top of that, I've started working with my family on in our family business as well, which is working online. So I work from home now. And my salary at the moment is definitely quite a bit lower than what I was making in my job before lockdown. However, now with budgeting and what I'm doing, I've actually managed to save money every month consistently for the first time in my life since I was about 17. So I'm really, really happy about that. I can't tell you how pleased I am. Like, I don't know if you can see, like, I'm happy about it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to share a bit about that journey with you all, because I think there's a lot of people that could benefit from this. I will say the sort of main catalyst for this change came from a lovely guy over in America by the name of Dave Ramsey, who some of you may have heard of already. I think he's a lot more popular in the US than he is here in the UK. There are definitely people here who know about him. I'm in a few Facebook groups of UK people who follow him and his philosophies. But he was the one who really changed my perspective and gave me the motivation and kind of structure to be able to do this. Whereas before I just felt completely hopeless and swamped by everything, not able to make any progress, and I thought I'd never get out of debt. I'm still not out of it, but I'm on my way. Like, I feel so much better about it in general. So yeah, he basically has 7 steps that you follow. I'm still on step 1, but either this month or next month I will have completed step 1, which is to save a starter emergency fund for life, so that you don't have to go into more debt while paying off your debt in case something happens. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I have had a bit of an evolution of my budget. So I started off, it's all done, I'm doing it all on paper. Obviously you don't have to do that, you can do it on the computer, but I like doing it in my journal. I like having it physically in front of me, adapting it exactly how I like. And also I make stickers. So I make stickers to use with my budget, which I can show you in a sec. I will just show you very briefly, but I want to do more videos in future about my budgeting stickers and layouts. So I started in this one, my bullet journal. I started in that, I think in October was when I began, or maybe it was September actually when I started budgeting. And basically I was just doing it like that. I actually sell these sticker kits in my Etsy shop. All of these stickers you can get for this journal. This is the A5 bullet journal. And I can show you, to be honest, my budgets when I was doing it in here was, they were very kind of messy. I can't find one right now. So this is what my budget looked like in December. So it was still pretty rough, but I was just getting the hang of it. You know, when you're learning something new, and especially something like this where it involves numbers and you have to be pretty meticulous, there's a lot of details, it can be pretty difficult to start off with. It can feel very overwhelming. It's a big learning curve. It definitely has been for me. But it's okay if you don't get it right straight away. Like, that's fine. You don't have to get it perfect the first time. I often feel like I do, and it stresses me out, and then I overthink it and end up not doing something just because I think I have to start off perfect, which is ridiculous anyway. So thankfully I did start. I didn't get it perfect straight away, but that's okay. I'm already so much better at it. Like, I really enjoy it now. It's actually fun. Like, I find it really fun doing my budget each month. And even when I don't buy something that I maybe in the past would have bought, or maybe that I want to buy, I actually feel really satisfied when I make that decision not to buy it because I don't really need it. And one of Dave Ramsey's favourite sayings, I'm gonna paraphrase here because I can't remember exactly how he says it, but one of his favourite things to say is live like no one else so that one day you can live like no one else. And I love that. It's so, like, it keeps in my mind where I'm going and why I'm doing this, and that, okay, I may say no today, but it means I can say yes in the future, and without worrying about it, because I've spent so much time just being stressed out, about my debt, about what I have to pay this month. I remember a few years ago, there were times when I didn't even know where my next meal was going to come from. And I was just really worried. I was constantly anxious about my money, and I just don't want to feel like that anymore. And recently, for the first time in years, I don't feel like that anymore, and it's amazing. It's so good. It's such a good feeling. I'm going to show you what my budget looks like now, which is a lot different. So now I do my budget in my Erin Condren. This is the monthly planner, 8.5 by 11 inches. It's quite large. It's a lot bigger than my previous bullet journal. So basically it looks something like this. So these are the stickers that I've made for the budget. That's the budget kit. You can get that in my Etsy shop. This one was February. Obviously we're on March now, which I did kind of blue as the theme for March. So this is my March budget. It looks basically the same except different colors. And I have all my variable expenses here, which I track in my monthly spread, which looks like this. And then I do actually need to update this. I think I'm going to do that later today. At the moment, because I'm not spending much, I don't have to update it every day. I usually do it once every like 2 or 3 days. I just update everything and keep it all in check. I've also got my non-variable expenses down there, the longer list, so all my bills and things like regular payments that come out of my account. I also then have my weekly check-in on the page opposite. So this is what I use to just keep track of my variables and what I've budgeted, so I know how much I've got left to spend from each category. Obviously, I try and spend as little as possible and actually be below budget and save a bit extra, but I give myself a budget that I'm allowed to spend. I have my sinking funds here. As I say, I'll go through all these on another video, but just to give you a quick run through. So these are my sinking funds. If you don't know what they are, because I didn't when I started budgeting, they are basically mini savings accounts for specific things. So at the moment, mine's quite small, but I already have plans for a much bigger one. For things that you know you're going to have to pay in future. So it could be like one of mine is gifts, for example. So you put a set amount in there each month. You can change it each month, and then you just keep it there so that when you have to buy someone a present, you're not freaking out because, you know, you don't have enough money. That's me anyway. Normally I'm the one doing that. So that helps me a lot, feel a lot calmer about it. Like I always know I've got the money there if I need it. So that's really cool. And I also have a debt tracker and a spending tracker, it's all probably a bit overkill for some people, but I love having all of it really nice and sort of clear, so I know everything that's going on. So that is my budget. Yeah, I just think that so many people could benefit from doing this. I definitely want to do more videos about it. I think one reason I'm slightly hesitant, or have been hesitant about doing videos about budgeting, is because I will need to share information, personal information about my budget and my finances, which really there's no reason to be worried about. There's no reason that I can't do that or shouldn't do that. I've got nothing to hide. But obviously it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. You know, it's a new vulnerability that I'm not used to. So, but yeah, I definitely do want to do that, and I want to share with people. You know, I want people to join in. Like I'm loving this. I'm so happy about it, and I want other people to join. Like I want to know what other people are doing, and if I can help someone the way that Dave Ramsey helped me, then that would just be the best thing ever. I don't know if that will happen, but if it did happen, I would absolutely love it, because honestly, he has changed my life within the first 10 minutes of listening to him talk about money. Literally, it changed my life. Like, so much has changed since then. So I'm really, really grateful. Don't think you'd ever see this, but if you did see this, Dave, thanks. Yeah, so that's sort of the main gist of my story with budgeting so far. I definitely recommend heading over to his channel. I believe it's called The Dave Ramsey Show. He's on YouTube. He also, you can find him wherever you listen to podcasts as well. I use iTunes or Apple or whatever. I have an iPhone, so that's where I listen to his podcasts. And basically you can just hear other people's experiences. They ask him questions, he gives advice. You can hear all the really cool, inspiring things other people have done with their money. And sometimes, you know, you hear stories about people that are way worse off. Like, I thought I was the worst. I thought I had such a bad situation and I was in so much debt, and like I was just the worst with money, and I was really stupid for having made bad decisions in the past. And I just felt really bad about all of it. Like, my self-esteem involving this was very low. My feeling of security was very low. My anxiety was very high. And it's just really unnecessary. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. It can, as I say, it can be daunting before you start, but once you find a way that works for you and you kind of, you know, get a bit of knowledge under your belt, it's really not that difficult. It's pretty easy to do and it's pretty simple, and the benefits from it are just endless. They just keep, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Like, trust me, it's worth it putting in the initial effort for what you get out of it. And it just, honestly, it affects your entire life. Like, it affects all areas of your life. So yeah, cannot recommend enough. If any of you have any particular questions or want to know anything, want me to do a video on something specific, please let me know, so I have more inspiration, because I'm new at this and I don't always know exactly where to start or what I should focus on. I'm sure I'll manage, and I will get some other stuff up soon to share with you guys. But anyway, if you've listened this far, then thank you so much. I'm super excited for where I'm gonna go with all this. And yeah, I hope some of you will join me. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a lovely evening, wherever it's evening where I am. So have a lovely evening. Remember to subscribe. I always do this on the wrong side. Whichever side it is, please subscribe, like this video, share if you really liked it, and if you know anyone that you think could benefit from this. And anyway, yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time.